These are the worst prisons on the planet. Insane overcrowding, solitary confinement, torture, and brutal incarceration. Here are 4 prisons that NGOs describe as hell on earth. Number 1. The most overcrowded. Gitarama Prison. Destination Rwanda. Here, 7,000 inmates live crammed into prisons that can officially accommodate a maximum of 3,000 inmates. But Gitarama has seen much worse. The murder of the Rwandan president in 1994 triggered the genocide of the Tutsis by the Hutu extremists, 2 nations that had been at war for years. In only 3 months, the Hutu extremists killed between 800,000 and 1 million Tutsis, usually with machetes. At the end of this massacre, more than 7,000 Hutu were arrested and jailed here, a place designed at the time to hold no more than 400 prisoners. With a population 17 times greater than its capacity and 4 prisoners per 10 square feet, diseases spread at lightning speed due to the inmates' overcrowding and the prisoners' unsanitary conditions. In 1995, over 1,000 inmates allegedly died within the facility. Rumors of cannibalism between the prisoners have been reported by the media. Today, although the prison has expanded its walls, the prisoners still have no room and are forced to stand up almost continuously. 40% are said to be suffering from gangrene in their feet. Number 2. Hell of torture. Guantanamo. Located in the southeast of Cuba, on the island of Guantanamo. This American prison was built in 2001 after 9/11. The purpose? To detain and interrogate potential terrorists, but above all, to deprive the prisoners of all their rights. Very quickly after this establishment, the prison became a lawless zone. All past detainees were subjected to torture like sleep deprivation, simulated drowning, exposure to extreme temperatures, and sexual humiliation. Former prisoners have even spoken of the existence of a room nicknamed the disco, where music is played 24 hours a day at very high volume to break prisoners psychologically. 20 years after the arrival of the first detainees in the Guantanamo prison, more than 30 people are still held there. And while the U.S. government says it intends to close the detention center soon, Guantanamo remains open for now. Number 3. Complete isolation. Pitak Prison. Also called the Alcatraz of Russia. This prison is located in the middle of Lake Novozero on Ogneny Island, 250 miles north of Moscow, totally isolated from the outside world. This high-security jail houses 200 prisoners serving life sentences or being sentenced to death, locked up for 22 hours a day in tiny individual cells. Only some prisoners are allowed to leave for 2 hours a day. Right here, in this outdoor cage, temperatures drop to almost -90 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter, while in the summer, it is infested with mosquitoes. Not the greatest way to unwind. This prison aims to psychologically break the inmates with no right to walk or contact. Some prisoners even explain that they would rather have the death penalty than to continue living here. Number 4. The most cruel. Camp 22. Located in the northeast of North Korea. This prison, covering an area of 86 square miles, counts about 50,000 political prisoners living with their families, including children. From the age of 6, the prisoners are forced to work 7 days a week between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. in mines and farms. The prisoners have the right to eat only 10 ounces of cereal daily. And while information about this camp is scarce, some sources indicate that prisoners are subject to brutal torture or experimentation when they don't perform well. Aside from the executions that allegedly take place in this camp, between 1,500 and 2,000 people die each year from malnutrition, mostly children.